morning. Shall we start, please?
Yes, good morning, teachers and everyone. Today I will talk about CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA. Overview. There is to fall up on intracranial neoplasm. 50% of supratentorial and 50% of supracellular tumor children. Most common supracellular CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA from epithelial along vestigial dust and typical epithelium bronchial left cell within intermediate club of pituitary gland. Pharyngoma occur from birth to 7 decades, male over female. Pyramidal age distributed with a pitch in birth to 7 decades, about 75%, and in 4 to 6 decades, about 22%. Compared to Thai, CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA, pharyngoma. A particle presentation if compression of pituitary gland, there diabetes insipidus. If compression of hypothalamus, there flow retardation. If compression of this nerve chiasm, there is temporal hemianopia, and if compression of foramen upon row or fibers are severe, they have death from hydrocephalus. The tumor is everywhere along infundibular top from first ventricle to pituitary gland. 20% supracellular, 10% intracellular, about 30% intra and supracellular. CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA is floor of anterior third and sphenoid plus it there. Radio feature X-ray screen 25% normal cellular, enlarged cellular translate dorsum thickening and inbreeding of laminar in floor of cellular about 10. There is intercellular destruction of 1%. Covalently flocculent simple calcification, laminar ossification, calcification seen in Europe in 70 to 90%, in adult in 30 to 40%. This is a school film. Therein it mentioned widening of cellular is remarkable. CT finding in CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA multilobulated inhomogeneous supracellular mass developed 50% cystic lesion to enhancement enhancement of cystic lesion, marginal lesion in 70 to 90% childhood tumor and 30 to 50% of adult tumor, sometimes obstructive hydrocephalus, and 25% to meet the posterior craniophoryngioma. The table compare a dimensional-mated craniopharyngoma and papillary craniopharyngoma. Cysts in dimensional-mated craniopharyngoma in CSF density typically and dominant feature and present in 90%. Cysts in papillary craniopharyngoma is small and not a significant feature as it nears CSF. Shortest component in adamantinomated craniopharyngoma is soft tissue density and enhancement in 90%, and in papillary craniopharyngoma is soft tissue density and VV enhancement. Adamantinomated craniopharyngoma is in a typically tibial and often peripheral in location, but in papillary craniopharyngoma is rare. They are CT of adamantinomated craniopharyngoma. The tumor here. The CT of papillary with contrast. MRI finding hyper-intense, but also iso or hypo-intense in T1. Maculae hyper T2 a solid component and cyst wall. In MRI, usually a vascular lateral placement elevation segment of ICA, but stereo displays the table compare adamantinomated craniopharyngoma and papillary craniopharyngoma is MRI. Cysts in adamantinomated is T1 iso to hyperintense to 3 meter. T2 variable per about 80% are smallly or partly to hyperintense, but in papillary cysts when present they are variable and T1 55% are T1 hypointense. Shortest component in adamantinomated craniopharyngoma T1 with contrast VV enhancement, T2 variable or mixed. Shortest component in papillary craniopharyngoma T1 iso to slightly extend to T1 with VV enhancement and T2 variable or mixed. Classification adamantinomated craniopharyngoma difficult to appreciate to conventional imaging susceptible classification papillary craniopharyngoma uncommon. RA in adamantinomated the A1 segment of the anterior cerebral and MR spectroscopy cysts contain major broad spectrum with a wide splash byline and MR spectroscopy in papillary craniopharyngoma. Cysts contain does not show a broad label spectrum this MRI of Edema tenomatous craniopharyngoma. The tumor on T1 with contrast and T2. MRI of papillary craniopharyngoma in flare T2 and T1 with contrast. Case of papillary craniopharyngoma. Differential diagnosis: epidermoid with no contrast enhancement, care cleft cell is on intracellular lesion and hemorrhages, but pituitary adenoma with fluid flavor. The tumor is epidermolysis on T1, T2, and T1 contrast is a cyst in supracellular. This is left cyst T1 and T2 here. And hemorrhages, pituitary myeloma on T1 and T1 with contrast. Thank you of everyone for listening.
Very much. Now you see the appearance of you see the snowman. Merry Christmas already. The Christmas day already coming. So it's nice to see. It's nice to see appearance of snowman. Snowman. In our region, we don't have this. We don't have. Rarely we have snow in our region. But when the winter comes, then the children play with the snow, and then they build the shape of two balls of the snow, and then they can make snowman with the long nose, with a conical head, and with the stick attached by the body. That is. But in our field, also we have the main appearance. You see, just now can see again the return back from slides, the last one. Then this appearance of the snowman, the above, the one above. Yeah. Oh, second last. Okay. This is the appearance of the snowman. Can you on? And the snowman is the typical image or appearance of microadenoma.
Yes.
Or macro big. So this is quite typical appearance. Okay. And this is words to memorize this. And whenever you see the appearance like this, then we can make the diagnosis. We can suggest the diagnosis of macroadenoma. It's homogeneous enhancement. It's solid
Yes.
tumor with homogeneous enhancement. And sometimes it has hemorrhagic component inside. Like this case, we have the hemorrhage component. So that's why we maybe get confused, maybe getting confused with the craniopharyngioma. Okay. All right, return back to our craniopharyngioma tumor. It is one of the suprasellar tumor.
Yes.
All right. So, and depend on the component, it has manifestation component. So the component typically is cystic and solid. Cystic and solid, meaning that it may have the fluid component and solid component, soft tissue component, and fluid inside. So the component may have water inside and soft tissue inside. Okay, so depend on the component, we have the finding or the features or the characteristic var- varying appearance on MRI. Okay, and sometimes it say the hemorrhage, it may bleed. So subtissue, yes, subtissue inside craniopharyngioma. Fluid, yes, there should be inside the pharyngioma. Okay, so depending on the fluid features, we may have the different um, features, different finding, different appearance on different signal on MRI. So whether it's a symphysis or cystic, or may have the protein inside, proteinaceous, or it may have the of fat inside, or it may have the blood inside. So there are many type of cystic component, and depend on the cystic component, we have the different appearance. So regarding the type of, it's depending on the type of craniopharyngioma. Basically, we have two types. One is the papillary, which is very simple. Second is the aramano yes, and that one is complex, more complex. Actually, we don't need to differentiate between the two because it's tenomatous or is papillary craniopharyngioma, whether it's adamantinomatous or papillary, they are both craniopharyngioma. So sometimes you don't need to differentiate between these two lesions. No need sometimes.
Yes.
But the main point here is that the main point is whether we can the differentiation between this type tumor with the other type tumor. So in brief, to simplify the thing, because a lot of finding, a lot of features, a lot of um, um, appearance, their variable appearance. So a lot of information. So in brief and to simplify, this is the complex tumor at the region. Tumor at the supracellular region along the what? The duct, the epithelial duct, or at the supracellular region. It is complex tumor at the supracellular. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all. That's all. So sometimes we just make it simple and we remember. And then from that we can analyze a little bit. But complex meaning that mix solid and fluid component. So solid can enhance solid component or tissue component. It can enhance fluid or cystic component. It may have the protein inside. It may have the cholesterol inside, and cholesterol inside. It can be protein inside. Can have hemorrhage component or blood inside, blood product inside. It may have the calcification inside. So may have calcification. So cyst component, whether the cyst, it can be simple or complex inside the tumor. The solid component is the soft tissue. Soft tissue enhancing very vividly, very strong with calcification. So that is the appearance of the tumor. So the first appearance on the you may see the first side of the lesion on MRI or CT scan. You see the complex tumor at the supracellular region. That's it. And then whenever you think, and then along the stalk of the pituitary gland, and when you see the tumor like that, then you think of CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA. So there are a few of the differential diagnosis only: CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA, reticulocyte, adenoma, meningioma, metastasis, like that. Oh, there are a few. But on this type of tumor, CRANIOPHARYNGIOMA, this is the cystic and solid or complex tumor in the cellular region, and it's quite typical. So depending on the component of the tumor, whether it's cystic, complex cyst, or it is simple cyst, different or variable appearance on the MRI. This can usually you see quite difficult for you to differentiate between many others. You can see the calcification. Yes, if the tumor has bleeding, you may have the hyperdense area of bleed, hemorrhage, the hemorrhage area. And when you give contrast, this may have some component of the enhancement. Okay, on MRI, particularly MRI is very useful. And on MRI T1 weighted, yeah, again, depending on the component of the tumor, whether the cystic component, whether it's cyst, complex cyst, or is it simple cyst. You can see on unweighted, usually is hyperintense. It's simple cyst, you may have so the spectrum to vary from the simple to the complex cyst. So with the simple cyst, we see the T1 weighted and the hyperintense with the simple cyst. Okay, and if the cyst component protein or fat inside or cholesterol inside or hemorrhage inside, then you see hypertension type 1. Into with it, yes, this may have a hyperintensity, and with it, then we give contrast. Whenever you give contrast, this will enhance very strongly. So in conclusion or in brief, you just remember for me, this type of tumor, craniophryngoma, is the mixed and complex tumor in the supracellular region. That's it. Okay, that is the message for us today. Can you roll back down again one of the differential diagnosis just now? A few slide be above. Yes, that's one. Return back one slide. Come back. This one. No. So go down. Go down. One more. Yes, this one. Okay. No. Up. Yes, this one. Okay. So this one you mentioned that this is chronic. What was that? Can you return back to me? Return to the slide 17. 17. Yes, this one. No. Yeah, this one. 17. Yes. Okay. Can you click on slideshow? Yes. Very good. Thank you very much. And then you see the diagnosis is the papillary craniopharyngioma. But to me, this one look like the snowman appearance. Okay, never mind. Actually, depend is up to your reading. It's up to your. This is confusing because they can mimic. Can yeah, they can just similar with the adenoma, macroadenoma. It's just appearance just similar, but never mind. It's okay. It's okay.
Yes.
If you confirm that this one is the craniopharyngioma, and it may have this appearance, it may have this appearance, because and then it may have so that's why we differentiate between craniopharyngioma and macroadenoma. That's why that's the reason why you see here craniopharyngioma is the appearance of also snowman, and macroadenoma it also has the appearance of snowman. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
And we can discuss later.
Thank you.